హలో అండ్ వెల్కమ్ టు sakshieducation.com. నేను లుంబిని బూచ్లా. యూపీఎస్సీ అంటే టఫ్ జర్నీ మాత్రమే కాదు, ఇట్స్ అ బ్యూటిఫుల్ జర్నీ ఆల్సో కదా. మరి సక్సెస్ అయితే ఇంకాస్త బ్యూటిఫుల్గా ఉంటుంది. మరి ఈ ఇయర్ జరిగిన యూపీఎస్సీ 2023 రిజల్ట్స్ అయితే వచ్చేసాయి. దాంట్లో ఆల్ ఇండియా 207 ర్యాంక్ హోల్డర్ మనతో పాటు ఉన్నారు, దియా దాస్గుప్తా. మరి తన ప్లాన్ ఎలా ఉంది, తన స్ట్రాటజీ ఎలా ఉంది, అండ్ ఇప్పుడు కమింగ్ అప్ June 16th యూపీఎస్సీ ప్రిలిమ్స్ అయితే ఉన్నాయి కదా. సో దానికి కూడా స్టూడెంట్స్కి ఎలాంటి ఇన్పుట్స్ ఇస్తారో తన్ని అడిగి తెలుసుకుందాం. హలో, హౌ ఆర్ యూ?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome to Hyderabad.
Thank you.
How is it? How is it feels here?
Oh, it's nice. I have one or two of my very good friends who stay here. So I've been to Hyderabad like a couple of times.
Okay.
And I do love the place. I do love the biryani.
Oh, nice.
Love Hyderabadi.
Okay, have you had?
Yeah, I had I think Hyderabadi biryani for lunch only today.
Oh,
Yeah.
so nice. So 207, it's a very good rank. So what was your first feeling after seeing the rank?
I was at work when I got my results, and the first feeling, I think it was a feeling of overwhelming emotions, because you know what happens is it's a sense of profound sense of relief which sets in, and the tension built up was so much that the relief, it came out in the form of tears.
Okay.
Then I called up my parents. They were in Kolkata, and I told them, and they were also very emotional. So it was a very emotional feeling altogether. The entire family had been waiting for this for a while, and I'm glad that we all could do it together.
Okay. Do you have any preparation strategy as such?
Oh yes, I do believe that this exam can become slightly easier if you are prepared with a strategy for each of the stages of the exam, be it the prelims, mains or the interview.
Okay. Okay, what was the strategy? I mean, students.
So for different stages of the exam, I think the strategy was slightly different. For instance, for prelims, one has to be very good with MCQs. I call it building up the MCQ aptitude. So solving a lot of prelims mock tests and MCQs and revising it over and over again. Revising, I say that, you know, it's better to revise the same thing 1,000 times rather than reading 1,000 sources one
Okay.
time each, because the retention capacity really reduces if you're reading 1,000 things just one time. So here repeated revisions of few sources and solving a lot of mock tests is the strategy for prelims that I followed. My strategy for mains was to do a thorough analysis of previous year's questions, which I did for prelims also. Do a lot of answer writing practice and make my own notes, because that brings in the originality in the answers. Again, for interview, it was reading newspapers very extensively, doing a few 3 or 4 mock tests for personality test. Overall, I think this was my strategy in total.
Okay, what was the preparation for CSAT and how frequently did you practice?
Yes, given that CSAT, I have failed in my last attempt, though I cleared the general studies part of the prelims exam by a margin of about 12 marks.
Okay.
I missed out prelims because I failed in CSAT by 2 marks, because that was how difficult the paper was in the last but one attempt. So there, what I did was, because of, you know, when you fail in CSAT and that is why you can't clear prelims, it's a very frustrating and it's a very heart-wrenching moment. So that time I had made up my mind that I'm going to strengthen my CSAT abilities extensively. So what I did was, I analyzed previous year's questions and figured out those chapters from which more number of questions were being asked.
Okay.
So after doing that, I did YouTube. YouTube was a very important source for me in my preparation. So I saw lectures on those chapters.
Okay.
For instance, I saw lectures on number system on YouTube, and then I tried to solve a lot of questions on YouTube. Has these playlists, say a playlist on probability questions, a playlist on permutation combination questions, and I tried to solve a lot of those. So those overall helped me to build up my CSAT aptitude, and this time I cleared comfortably.
Okay, nice. What was your optional?
My optional was political science and international relations.
Okay, that's a very vast subject, and how could you do that?
I think I chose it out of interest. So in the first 3 semesters of my law school, I had done 3 semesters of political science, because I had done BA LLB. Because of that, I had already done about 30 to 40% of my syllabus in my law school itself. And I was always very interested in international relations because I did a Model United Nations competitions very frequently, both in my school days and in my college also.
Okay.
So international relations, an interest in that, an interest in political science, and I also wanted to explore slightly something different from law as my optional.
Okay.
So overall, that's how it, 2 and 2 became 4.
Okay, okay, so nice. PSA, two papers, and that would be. What about the answer writing strategy? What did you follow?
So, what I used to do is before starting any topic in political science, I used to first take out the previous year's questions and understand what is the depth till which questions are being asked. And once the depth was certain for me, I used to read the topics. After reading the topic, I used to do answer writing practice. So, I used to start with PYQs and I used to end with PYQs, mostly for all mains topics, including optional.
Okay, in general studies, out of all the subjects, what do you think is your strongest point?
That will be ethics, GS for any day. I find I am quite comfortable in essay and ethics, and the preparation for both essay and ethics go hand in hand and they can be prepared together. So I think that is why I find ethics. And after that, because I'm a lawyer and because my optional was PSIR, GS2 is also a strength for me.
Okay, okay. Coming to GS में what is your strength subject?
So there are 4 papers in GS. GS1 is history, geography and all of that. GS2 is polity, having to do with law and governance. So that's a strength for me because of my law training and because of my optional. And GS4 is ethics. So because I have a knack towards philosophical writing, so essay and ethics, GS4 ethics paper is also a strength.
Okay. So entirely how many years of preparation have you done?
So I started preparing from 2019. Late 2018, I graduated in 2018. Towards the end of 2018, I started looking up the sources. 2019, I started my preparation, and this was 2023.
Okay, okay. And then what was your like motivating factor to pull it off?
So I'll narrate one small incident which happened in college.
Sure.
So I was roughly around the 4th year of my law school. Law school is 5 years. So what happened is in the girls' hostel there was a lot of water shortage, and somehow we had to go to the boys' hostel, fetch water from there. It was one of those crisis moments. Nothing like that had ever happened.
Okay.
Very severe summers. We had to go to the boys' hostel, fetch water, go back to the girls' hostel, and my room was on the 4th floor. That urged me to look up issues of water crisis in Odisha. So I graduated from National Law University, Odisha. And there I came across an IS officer who, through his ingenuity and his thinking capacity with limited resources, he had facilitated the free flow of water in a village which did not even have electricity.
Wow.
So that rolled my intellectual ball, intellectual thinking, intellectual wings, if I may call it that, and showed me the immense capacity, even if you have resource constraints, with good amount of brainstorming and thinking, the vastness of the impact that one can bring about. I think that was one of the first trigger moments for me. And my father is a doctor. He was a doctor in the Indian Railways, and then he retired. So I had always seen a public servant around me in the capacity of a doctor. So I think that, and then my mother is also a teacher. So my upbringing, though not very strictly attuned to civil services, but it has always been a lot to do with public services.
Okay.
So maybe all of it came together, and as Paulo Coelho had said in The Alchemist, that when you want something, the entire universe conspires with you to help you to get that particular object. I think that's what had happened since my birth.
Oh, so nice. And do you have any person, like so inspiring person, or any one person particular?
I really don't think there's any one person who's been there, but in every segment of my life, I feel that there have been personalities who've been stalwarts. For instance, I look up to my mother for her sheer determination. She learned to drive at the age of 50 and still drives very fluently. So never give up attitude came from there. My father's selflessness to the service that he carried out as a doctor, he was always a role model there. Similarly, my brother has been a constant source of my support system. My friends, they were there, and every day I look at them and I know that if they are working that hard, I can work hard too. So we push each other towards success and we pull each other up when we are down. So I think all of this plays a major role. So not any one significant personality, but different people in different aspects of life.
Okay, that's so nice. Okay, what is the service and what is the cadre you are expecting?
So my All India rank is 207. I am expecting IPS. About the state, that is the cadre that I'll get, not very sure about it. That will be allocated maybe sometime later this year.
Okay, hopefully Telangana?
Maybe.
Okay, okay. So, what do you want to suggest students? You know, coming up June 16th, we have UPSC prelims. So, what do you want to suggest students, aspirants?
The first thing I would say is utilize the upcoming 15 days that you have really well. I think you can do at least 2 rounds of revisions, and that rounds of revisions help you to gain confidence. You should walk into the exam hall feeling like a warrior who has done everything in her or his capacity to ace this exam. So build up that confidence. If possible, keep some light exercise, maybe a 10-20 minute walk, because that helps to calm down the nerves a lot. Be calm, be patient, and stay healthy, and keep revising to the extent possible. Also, one very strong suggestion that I have is go into the exam hall without any expectations. Don't expect the paper to be in a certain way. Looking at the past trends, the paper will not be very easy if the past trends are to continue, because last year's paper was also not easy, but it is certainly doable if you have a calm and rational mind. Try to use all your derivative knowledge which you have gained since school days. Maybe a question on cells can come hypothetically, which you would have studied in class 10. It's there in your mind. Trust yourself. Just on the exam hall, in the exam hall, think calmly, and I'm very sure you'll be getting the answer.
Okay, okay. And what is the kind of service you want to do?
I've always wanted to work for the people, with the people. I've always wanted to serve and speak to the people the entire day and work to the level best to help them. So my service for the next 30-31 years of my life will be focused on that people-centric service.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.